The bright sunlight makes the weather become hot. Along with that is the sound of cicadas chirping, the sound of cicadas chirping, signaling summer, signaling a vacation, signaling the hot and humid season is preparing to come. If the childhood of the children of the time are smartphones, my childhood is associated with hot summer noons, catching cicadas and taking care of them as a unique pet, or one lucky evening witnessing with my own eyes the scene of a cicada molting. The feeling extremely exciting, hard to describe. That feeling is like I have just discovered one of the mysteries of humanity. Extremely happy. If you also had a childhood like that, it was truly a beautiful, unforgettable childhood. Then in today's video with Animal Tales, we will help you go back to your childhood to learn about the life cycle of a cicada. This will certainly be extremely interesting knowledge. You will never expect that a small animal that only appears in the summer has such a hard and difficult life. The life cycle of a cicada is divided into 3 cycles: egg, larva and adult stage. First stage, eggs. After mating cicadas, female cicadas will dig small grooves on the bark of tree branches and lay eggs inside. They will dig many different grooves until they lay a few hundred eggs. When the eggs hatch, they will move to the stage of cicada larva. The cicada larva will fall to the ground, then dig a deep burrow down. This is the longest stage of cicadas. They will live underground for many years, depending on each species in each region. Different, usually from 2 years. There are also species over years. For example, the Magiscata cicada will live to develop underground in this stage. They will survive by sucking the sap of the roots of the tree to live. That is also the reason you will see cicadas often living in old trees. The older the tree, the more cicadas there will be. Because, if they choose to lay eggs and live in a tree, short term, they will not have nutrition in the larval stage, because the lifespan of the tree it parasitizes is not enough for it to survive this difficult stage. After reaching a sufficient size, they will move to the final stage, which is adulthood. At this time, the cicada's larva will dig the soil to awaken after many years of dormancy. They crawl up to the base of the tree to molt. You can only see this scene in the evening or at night. They will not do it during the day to avoid being attacked by predators. Their appearance at this time is somewhat rough. The outer skin feels very dry and hard. They begin to emerge from the upper back, then the head. Next is the 2 years before finally the 4 hind legs and the tail when they have just molted. Their skin is still very young looking. From the outside it feels a bit wet. The 2 wings are very thin and weak. At this time they cannot fly or do anything. The only job is to stand still and wait for the wings and body to become dry, but not long, just about an hour. When the wings are dry, they can spread the wings and fly away freely, thinking that after the dark days, lasting many years underground, at this time, they will be free to fly, flap, eat, drink and party. But no stage being released is also the time when they prepare for death. The buzzing sound that we often hear as the call of the cicadas make the special point is that it does not come from the cicada's mouth, but from the cicada's bellies. When they contract their bellies will make a sound that we often hear. This is also the reason why when we squeeze the bellies of male cicadas, they all make a characteristic sound to attract female cicadas to mate. After mating, the female cicadas will dig holes in the branches to lay eggs, and a new life cycle will be repeated. After completing the sacred mission of the cicada's life has ended all stages in their life cycle. If you ask, you will die at this point. It is also the time for cicadas to say goodbye to their lives. Do you wonder why the developmental stage, that is, the larval stage, they have to burrow underground and not live in trees later? Here will be the reason for that question. Life around us always exists. Different living things similar to each other in animals. There are symbiotic species with each other and enemy species. The most difficult for cicadas in the longest stage of their life is when the larvae do not have any weapons or defenses to fight back against their enemies. Certainly if they live on trees, they will become delicious prey for predators. That is why they choose to hide underground, to suck nutrients from the roots of trees, to survive. And as mentioned above, they must also choose the evening when their enemies are sleeping. Well, then they can molt. Their shells are crawling out of their old clothes. Suddenly there is a mantis right in front of you. It is the end of your life here when you are in the adult stage. Although they do not possess any powerful weapons, they have a pair of strong wings, which partly helps cicadas stay away from predators lurking. And that is the life cycle of a cicada, a harsh and arduous life cycle when the baby Must press the big lid up, then. Cannot fly and play, must say goodbye to Mother Nature, creating each animal species with its own link. To ensure a stable ecosystem and development, the prey must find a way to stay away from the enemy to survive. The predator must also find a way to eat the prey to continue living. That is an inevitable rule. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video before moving to another video. If you like the content on the channel, don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to guess the next interesting videos. Okay, goodbye and see you again.